Real talk, real is talk. Real talk is talk, real cheap. And the rest is just squawk. Cheap. Two friends talking about everything they trying to comprehend. My friend with all these light bulbs are popping in our minds. We share our ideas with one another. Time to talk cheap. Friends tripping because we all hella booked up in these lives. This Friday's the night we get to riff and laugh, 'cause that's alright. Talk, talk, talk is cheap. Real talk, talk, talk. It's so, so, so cheap, cheap. It's so, so, so cheap, 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 cheap. Can't be any cheaper, lest it cost us something so cheap. Other than time spent, that's what we are willing to spare. Because cheap, cheap is what it's gotta be. So cheap, 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 cheap. And that is all we got to share. We got 2 tickets to board these planes of your reality. They know we just missed our train to Trans Central. Hey you, all aboard! It's Friday night, cheap train. Normally Saturday, but not tonight. But real talk is cheaper than ever, ever. Real talk is cheap. The real talk is so cheap. Real talk is cheap. The real talk is so cheap, cheap. Real talk is cheap, real cheap. So talk cheap. It's real talk. It's so cheap, cheap. It's so, so, so cheap, cheap. Woo, real cheap, cheap. It's so cheap, cheap, cheap talk.